focusing too much on weight, not just body weight, but how much you lift, and while not focusing enough on the appropriate form.
Absolutely.
And that's for any exercise, whether it be your major movers like, a deadlift, or something as simple as like a little intrinsic shoulder external rotation. I can't tell you. That's how you can walk into a gym and see who's been doing it for a while and who has a good knowledge, just looking at the form and whether they're ego lifting or not. And,
Absolutely.
as young males, we all went through that. We all went through ego lifting.
Man.
How much do you bench, right?
Yeah, man.
How much can you curl? You get asked these questions all the time. Now, if somebody were to ask me that right now, I would probably chuckle to myself because it doesn't matter, right? To me, that's not a true
Absolutely.
show of strength or fitness or wellness.
Absolutely.
Is how much can you lift? So, and I mean, the first part of that, what I was saying was people focusing too much on weight, as in their actual body weight, when if you're putting somebody on a program for wellness, it might not be as simple as how much weight are you losing, because they might be gaining muscle.
Yeah.
So if all they're focused on is that number on the scale, that could be a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. Dr. G, 16 years going on 17 this year. And that's why we're in business, honestly, is to repeat what you're just saying. The reason why I'm saying that, in addition to what I'm about to tell you, is that I've been a part of that same theory. How much do I bench? Right. How much do I deadlift? Great friend of ours, Wes Clayton. We laugh now when we see the younger men come in the gym, and they sometimes challenge me as a trainer. Chris, do you work out? Yeah, right. Well, let me see you jump in. Can you deadlift this? If I want to. Right. Well, go ahead and jump into the workout. Hey, man, do you know how long it takes for me to prep to get ready to build up to the weight that you're doing right now? So think about this. If you're deadlifting 315, I haven't deadlifted anything in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Why would I jump in a matter of seconds to do a 315 deadlift for your ego?
Right.
Right?
Not for your own.
Yeah.
Right.
For everybody else.
Right.
So the reason why Wes and I chuckle about it, because at one point, this is a true story, Dr. G, our first location, I used to have I think all brick and mortar gyms that do strength conditioning had it. It was a leaderboard.
Okay.
So they have bench press, top 3 people, squats, top 3 people. And one day, man, I'm big on form, and I seen this person rolling their back just to get the deadlift up.
Like a cat.
Oh, literally, just like the exercise, right? And I literally pulled it off. I messed the whole wall up because it was like taped. And Erica, I love you. I know Erica set it up really nice. I pulled it out. I was like, this doesn't matter.
Right.
And now me and Wes joke about it as I bring his name up for the 4th time. My biggest concern when I wake up is I want to move in the morning. And my second, I say this jokingly on all podcasts when I have the opportunity, I want to look better naked. That's it. So for me,
I think we all do.
Right. I don't think my wife ever looks at me. This is the clickbait for people.
Right.
I don't think my wife ever looks at me naked and say, "Ooh, Chris, you must have deadlift 450 pounds today."
No.
She might think in her head like, "Oh, you must be working out.
Sure.
You must be eating cleaner."
Right.
She's never gonna ask me, "What's your bench press today?"
Right.
So why do we do ourselves like that?
I mean, I don't know, because when we do it, it's not. When guys are young, they lift like that because they think it'll impress girls. Because when you watch movies and TV shows, it's always the guy at the gym working out, and he's like, "Watch this," No, when in actuality, women or girls aren't looking at you in the gym thinking, "Wow, he's so strong, he can lift this."
Yep.
And you're not thinking about that either. You're like, I want to intimidate the guy that's next to me lifting this much weight, or I don't want to be intimidated by somebody, so I'm going to ego lift. So yeah, it happens, but it's this song and dance that happens in big box gyms sometimes.
Yeah.
That as you grow older, you realize how ridiculous it is.
It is, man. It's shout out to all the guys and girls that come to Mean Green. We have our competitive nature at the same time. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. If Wes, I don't know, bench press 250, Murphy looking next like, all right, I'm about to go for 255. I'm not against challenging yourself.
No.
But you got to challenge yourself with proper form.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, bad form creates injuries, right? Bad forms, okay, here's a good example. if I do bench press like this, notice my shoulders are rolled up, okay, and I'm doing bench press like this, and I got my back all arched up, the body is not made for me to be here. The body's actually made for me to have my chest pinched back. So if you're doing bench press like this, are we really working our pecs
Not
at the best case?
maximally.
Yeah, right? So again, I might be able to bench press 100 pounds like this, and I may be able to I may be able to do 60 pounds this way. But do you want the whole circumference of your chest to be developed the right way? Or do you want to be able to say on your Instagram, I did 100 pounds today, but don't look any different?
And the interesting thing about what you just said is that you could take two people and have them bench the same exact weight, or you could bench 250 pounds and I could bench 150. And if I had correct form, good pacing, good breathing, my body would get more out of that 150 pounds than you out of your 250 pounds.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's cool to talk about this on this platform because, man, I feel like I'm stepping on toes. But I know a lot of people in the influence world will show their shirt off or show their sports bra body, and they not even doing what you think they're doing. They just put the picture of a 315 on a bar and walked off and put, I deadlift today.
Right.
Who knows they actually did the deadlift? But you go into the gym hurting yourself because you think you need to lift that much weight. Now, I'm not saying there's not sequences where people do lift that much weight. If you play for the Texans, right, or you're an Olympic lifter and you're getting paid to put a certain amount of weight on that bar, it's a totally different game.
Absolutely.
But for the average person that wants to look better naked, is not coming in the gym to look better naked by bench pressing 315 or squatting 315.
Right.
It's just proper movement. So my takeaway with this for you guys is proper form give you proper results. Okay, bad form give you bad results.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, if you want to wake up feeling good, have progression overload the right way. Right. If I do 100 pounds today, Mitch, at bench press, in 2 weeks with great form, as I decrease my rep count, right? Say instead of 10, I'm down to 6. I probably can go up 5 pounds.
Sure.
And you challenge your muscle groups, you challenge your body, and you feel it correctly. That's where the transformation takes place. But for you just to hurt yourself by pounding your body, you're not going to get the results. You're going to be in pain, and then it's going to discourage you to work out. So I recommend that you do it the right way the first time.
And what I'll say is, you're creating more business for me by doing these ridiculous things. I would rather get your business some other way. I would rather you're pushing yourself, or you have some low hip or low back pain because you're lifting your newborn baby and you're carrying them around. I'd rather deal with something like that than you did something stupid like going to the gym and ego lift and hurt yourself. So there are better ways for me to be busy than for you to be stupid. So
yeah, absolutely. And you live and you learn. And I'm not saying, as I mentioned earlier, I was doing bench press and leg extensions to be, an athlete, and I didn't know. But when I learned, I stopped doing. If you're hearing this for the first time, this is your call to action. You know what? I never thought about that. And don't just take us by what we've said. Do your research, and then process and move forward. But hopefully, this gives you fuel to do it the right way. If you're not,
absolutely,
I think that's a great question, Mitch.